The market is a lot slower as everyone braces for Modern Horizons 3 previews this week, but there are still some intriguing cards moving. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3, Universe Beyond Assassin's Creed, or find a vast number of other great products on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or the comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where today we're looking at the top 10 hottest Magic cards of the week. Like I said in the cold open, things are much slower right now, but I don't expect that to last. I think as soon as we see more of these Modern Horizons 3 previews, the market will probably take off again. But for right now, we still have some good cards to look at. As always, our top 10 is based on a couple pieces of criteria. First, we're looking at a percentage increase in the value of the cards. And secondly, we want to see a true increase in the number of sales from week to week. Quickly, before we get started, just a couple fast things. I do want to say thank you to one of the viewers who gave a super thanks tip last week. That is Big Tonka34. Big Tonka, thank you for your support. It means a lot. I truly do appreciate the super thanks tip and the support for the channel. So thank you. And I also want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons as well today. That is Robert Gress. Robert's been a gold patron for quite some time, and I do want to take a moment to say thank you, Robert. Couldn't do this without viewers like yourself. I truly appreciate the support you've given. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Cogsworth Handy Helper. This goes up $1.01 to $3.99. That's a 34% increase. This is from the Fallout Scrappy Survivors Commander deck, and as you can imagine, it has been seeing Commander play in fresh builds around some cards from its pre-con, like Dogmeat Everloyal, 3-Dog Galaxy News DJ, and Moira Brown Guide Author, but it has been in other builds in the format as well. In fact, many have been picking this up for a Commander build around a card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, that is Ariette the Beguiler. Number 9 is Metamorphose. This goes up $1.23 to $4.48 for a 38% increase. Here we have an older uncommon that is yet to see a reprint, but the question remains, what has been driving the demand for this card? You may remember that about a year ago, Ristic Studies made a video talking about a shared deck format that has been used as a popular way to kill time in between rounds of tournaments. The format is known as Forgetful Fish, and these shared decks between players typically consist of 10 copies of Dan Dan and several other cards that help the players get their damage across with Dan Dan or protect them from their opponent's Dan Dans. Fast forward to last week, and Sam from Ristic Studies joined George and the professor on a Tolarian Community College video to play a game of Forgetful Fish. As you can imagine, that reignited excitement for this format, and some cards played in those decks were jumping. This harder to find card remains hot. After all, there were 2 copies of it in the deck they used in the video. Coming in at number 8 is Ashling the Extinguisher. This goes up $1.30 to $6.99 for a 23% increase. So this is an Eventide rare that is yet to be reprinted, so I think it might be time for my one per video. You may know this if you've been watching the videos for a while, but during this time period of Magic, there was a recession in the game. Less packs of Eventide and some other sets were cracked. Due to the lower supply, some of these cards, especially the rares that have not been reprinted, tend to spike when there is some attention on them. So why are people paying attention to this one now? Few reasons. First off, turns out to be a good upgrade to the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Grand Larceny Commander deck. Some players are putting it in fresh builds around a card from there as well, Felix 5 Boots. But there is something else going on here as well, and it has to do with a leaked card. So if you don't want to hear about leaks, I'll give you a few seconds to skip to the next card. Okay, if you're still here, there was a Modern Horizons 3 leak of a new Ashling. The card is called Ashling Flame Dancer. Since it is an unconfirmed leak, I won't go into all the details, but it is on a bunch of sites if you want to look it up. I will say though that it doesn't necessarily play well with this Ashling, although it may have gotten some people thinking about Ashling's previous version. Number 7 this week is Caustic Bronco, up $1.45 to $2.60. That's a 126% increase. Talk about a bear with upside. This Outlaws of Thunder Junction card has the interest of players in multiple formats. First, this thing is all over Standard. The most popular build running it is Golgari Midrange, and those decks run 3 or 4 copies typically, but it's also in other builds in Standard as well, like Orzhov, Mono Black, Rakdos, and Sultai Midrange, as well as Rakdos Aggro. I have seen some trying it out in Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, and Vintage builds like Pioneer Rakdos Midrange, Modern Rakdos Scam, Legacy Orzhov Scam, and Vintage Luris Saga, for example. It's also appearing in Commander decks old and new, including some of the popular Isshin 2 Heavens as 1 builds, but there is more to it than just that. This week, some high-profile players have been using the card. Todd Anderson has been doing well with a Mono Black Bronco Legacy deck, and Aspiring Spike streamed a modern Mono Black Bronco build. Ultimately, we'll have to see how this card performs long-term in various formats, but right now, there is a lot of attention on it. Coming in at number 6 is Nelfeshny. This goes up at $1.94 to $7.43. That's a 35% increase. This has been a solid commander card since it came out, but now it is seeing more play in decks around some cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which is one of the reasons interest is up here. It's in builds around a popular card from the Big Score subset that is Loot the Key to Everything. To a lesser degree, Nelfeshny is in commander decks around a couple of cards from the main set, Rakdos the Muscle, and Laughing Jasper Flint. But once again, there is more to this price jump. It is also moving due to a leaked card, so I'll give you a few seconds to skip to the next card if you want. Okay, so if it is real, this actually may play well in Commander with that Modern Horizons 3 leak I mentioned earlier, Ashling Flame Dancer. Before we move on to our top 5, just a quick reminder that this video is sponsored by FlipsideGaming.com. Check out Flipside Gaming. You're going to find a number of great MTG products and other things there. Currently, you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3 on their site. You can also now pre-order Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Assassin's Creed products there as well. And remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And the site's real easy to find. You can check out the description or the comment section below. I have direct links to the site in both places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to our top 5. Our number 5 card this week is Nerd Rage, up 310 to 406 for a 323% increase. This is from the Fallout Science Commander deck with an exclamation point. The card has been getting a fair amount of Commander play since it came out. It was used in fresh decks around the front-facing Commander from its pre-con, Dr. Madison Lee. It was also, though, a good upgrade to the Fallout Mutant Menace Commander deck, and included in fresh builds around a couple cards from there. Its front-facing Commander, the Wise Mothman, as well as Piper Wright, Public Reporter. Now, however, there is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction card pushing this. Nerd Rage is getting a lot of play in a popular Commander build around Ariette the Beguiler. On top of that, though, there has been a rather public buyout going on around this card, and that kind of heavy speculation may be playing a role here. I would assume a lot of copies of this are going to be thrown back into the market now that the price has jumped some. Coming in at number 4 is Freestrider Outlook of $3.30 to $3.89. That is a 559% increase if you're doing the math at home. Here we have another Outlaws of Thunder Junction card that is in those standard Golgari midrange decks, which are seeing a lot of play. It's also in Sultai midrange there, plus the card is showing up in Pioneer Gruul midrange and Modern Golgari Coffers, among other places. Aspiring Spike was playing a mono green Freestrider deck on stream this week as well, which brought some attention to it. On top of all that, the card has seen some Commander play in builds old and new, the most popular one being Legolas Master Archer. Freestrider Lookout is a good example of a card that was overlooked leading up to the release, but organically it has been able to find homes. But like all things, it's not as simple as that though. There is a leaked card that may be pushing a little more interest this way as well. I'll give you a few seconds to move to the next card again if you choose to. There is another Modern Horizons 3 leak that could play well with this, and it's called the Necro Bloom. That has some speculators interested in the future of Freestrider Outlook. Our number 3 card this week is Braid of Fire from Cold Snap. It goes up 622 to 2310. That's a 37% increase. There are a couple specialty printings of this. It's a Mystery Booster Retail Edition foil, and it was in the Artist Series Sam Burley Secret Lair, but the Cold Snap copy is the only copy that has had a wide release. So this has been seeing more Commander play recently and builds around a couple of cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. One is Ty Wakeen Perfect Shot, but Braid of Fire has a solid upkeep trigger, so it's also good in those very popular Obeka Splitter of Seconds Commander builds. Again though, there's more to the story than just that, and this part ties into a card leak, so I'll give you a few seconds to skip to the next one if you want. Again, if the leak is real, then Braid of Fire is another card that will play very well with Ashling Flame Dancer. Coming in at number 2 is Canio Centiro of Miletus, up 787 to 3141. That's a 33% increase. This is a foil card that came from the Commander 2016 Stalwart Unity deck, yet to be reprinted. To this day, though, it is still a fairly popular commander, and it's in the 99 of a few builds too. However, now some are speculating that builds around this card may get some more tools thanks to the upcoming Modern Horizons 3 Simic commander deck called Tricky Terrain. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Hostile Investigator. This is up 858 to 1608. That's a 114% increase. Here we have a card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction's The Big Score subset, which does mean a lower pull rate. It was our number 7 hot card last week. This week it does make it to the top spot, and it is seeing a lot of play in Standard and Pioneer. Maybe not surprisingly, it's another card in those very popular Golgari mid-range builds, but it's also in other mid-range decks in Standard as well, like Sultai and sometimes Orzhov. In Pioneer, it is showing up in mono black discard decks, and to a lesser degree it's seeing play in 4-color Greasefang. Plus it's getting a little commander play too. I've seen this in El'Kazat's Deepest Betrayal builds at times. Ultimately though, Standard Golgari midrange and Pioneer mono black discard are the key drivers here. And just like that, that's going to do it this week for our top 10 hot cards. I haven't done a top 10 in a long time. I've been doing top 15, top 20, top 25, just because so many cards have been hot. This week things are a little calmer, but like I said, I expect that to change pretty quickly since Modern Horizons 3 previews are going to be coming pretty fast and furious over the next week. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.